Hi, I'm Aldo. Welcome to Plays the Thing, the channel where I share my experiences prepping and playing tabletop role-playing games. So it's been 2 weeks since my last video, and I was hoping to get back to a weekly schedule, but the reason there's been a week break is because I've been prepping some changes to the channel. One is having to do with production. I am turning over the editing and the production to my daughters. This video is going to look and maybe sound different than previous ones to some degree because of their handiwork. I'm excited to see what that looks like. They're going to surprise me. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun to work with my daughters. The other thing is that I'm going to try to do at least some short form videos, 10-minute videos. For this week, that'll be one 10-minute video. Looking ahead, I think next week might be 2 videos and then 2 more the week after that. That's the plan. We're going to see how it goes. The other thing that is going to change in the short term is the content. The series that I have planned, which is about 5 or 6 videos, is going to be on something different, something other than Shadowdark and something other than Champions Now, or the Sentinels of Justice. And the reason for that is because, again, it has been difficult to gather the group. We were supposed to be playing Champions Now right now, but Memorial Day plans took one of us out of the picture, and so we had to postpone again. As far as Shadowdark is concerned, there are 2 things at play. One, we haven't been able to get the group together again since the last time, and we'll continue both the Gloaming and hopefully Midnight Sun. But the other thing is that when we have an off night, when it's just a few of us gathering, we're kind of fantasied out. That's not to say we're going to stop doing fantasy games. Again, we are interested in continuing both of our Shadowdark campaigns. But when the opportunity presents itself to do something different, we're going to do something different. That's going to bring us to the rest of this video, which sets up the next 4 to 5 videos. And that is that I'm going to be doing kind of a tale of 2 one-shots. Now, these one-shots are games that we've played over the last 2 months or so. They involve 2 different games. Therefore, there are 2 different adventures, but hopefully they showcase one premise. As a game master, I try not to prepare stories or write stories for my players to engage in. I prepare situations for my players to engage and change based on their actions and the outcomes of dice rolls and that sort of thing. You know, if I were writing a story, I might have maybe flexible but definite sort of arc that'll take me to a spot where something will get resolved, maybe with a big set piece battle. Whereas when I'm preparing situations, I basically have no idea where they're going to go. And that's fun. That is good, at least for me. This is not a new idea. If you go online, you're going to find such people as Matt Colville and Ben Milton and Professor Dungeon Master and Jason Alexander speaking about this premise. Most importantly for me, you'll find Ron Edwards talking about this. Ron Edwards is the person that I think has the deepest roots in sort of thinking about gaming and how it works. Reading through his games has been very instructive in solidifying these concepts in my own mind. And now I'm trying to put them into practice. And so again, this channel is not about me being some game mastering guru that is going to give you answers, but it's more about like, here are some interesting ideas. Let me put them into practice and let's see what works for me and what doesn't work for me and what approaches I take, just because it might be interesting and helpful to somebody out there who's trying to figure this stuff out for themselves. In this particular set of one-shots, I'm looking at 2 different scenarios for doing this, for prepping situations or to work with situations. One is working with situations when you have a published adventure. The other one is working with setting up situations when you gotten together with your friends and you have 0 idea what you're going to do and it's all happening in the moment. So I guess what I'm going to do in this series is present the game where I ran the published adventure and think about that process, and then present the other one and talk about that process and see what, if anything, I learned from approaching it in these 2 different ways. So the first game we played was White Hack owned it for a while, but I've never played it. This was my first time giving it a shot at the table. And the adventure we ran for it was called Mission Excalibur. And it is set in an alternate history where the Nazis won World War II and the characters are part of the underground. The mission involves the resistance getting their hands on Excalibur so that they can turn the tide on the Nazis. So that was session number 1, or game number 1. The second game that we ended up playing was Quantum Starfarer. And in that one, we didn't have an adventure. I had not prepped anything, so we were figuring it out in the moment. The way I envision this video series going on from here, I imagine that I'm going to do an episode on White Hack and how it works and the characters that we made for this particular game. And then I will do a play report on our first session of Mission Excalibur. This one shot actually turned into a 2-parter, but I'll try to give you a play report on how that went and what I learned from it. And then we'll do a video on Quantum Starfarer. Then we'll do a play report on the adventure that we cobbled together for that night of play. Then we'll see what if anything we learned from the comparison. So anyway, a short video just to establish the premise for where we're going from here. Thank you for listening. And as always, I wish you good health. I wish you good cheer. I wish you good gaming. Goodbye.